Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna try something different that I've never done on my channel before. And it's obviously, as you guys can see, it's gonna be kind of like a story time. And what I want to share is how I met my husband. I feel like if you know me, you know that I'm pretty much like an open book. I'm just really open with people. So obviously I know a lot of people know me that are subscribed to me or that do watch my videos, but some of you guys don't actually know me personally. I kind of want to just get a little bit more personal and also get ready. A lot of things have changed with like the techniques that I use now for my skin and my eyes. I already did my eyebrows, so I'm just gonna start by pretty much just carving them out a little bit. I'm gonna start with the Anastasia Duo pencil. I'm gonna start with the matte side. I'm just gonna get right in it and just start talking about it because I feel like I'm gonna start doing my makeup and then I'm gonna forget about it. So my husband and I have been together for 8 years. We will be 9 years next year in February. We've been married for 3 years. We're going to be turning 3 years in October. So it's actually really, really exciting. We actually met in high school. But yeah, it's really, really cool because I feel like we totally like grew up together and we experienced a lot of like life changes together, and it's been really fun. He's definitely my best friend. I was actually a junior, so I was 16, I believe, and he was a senior. And so how it happened is that I needed an extra elective and I didn't really know what else to take. I actually decided to become a teacher's assistant, and I didn't really care for too many teachers when I was in high school, except for one teacher. I thought she was super cool. She was really chill all the time, and it was Mrs. Stevenson. And so I decided to pick her. I remember going into her class. This was like, I think like the third day of my junior year. And I remember going in and asking her if I could be her TA. I'm just gonna say TA from now because I feel like I can't remember the teacher assistant part. So I asked her if I could be her TA, and she said yes. I don't know if it's like this for every other school, but for our school you had to get the teacher's permission, so they would like initial it on your schedule. That was like that they printed out. So yeah, she signed it, she initialed it. Wow guys, I'm like not used to like talking and doing my makeup, so it's gonna take me a little bit. So sorry if this video is super long. So anyway, I asked her to sign it. She signed it, she initialed it, and then I went back to my counselor and then they made it official, right? So at this point, this is like my 4th day of junior year. I go in, I'm running a little bit late. I usually was running late for my classes. I go into the classroom and she's like, "Hey, Brittany." She kind of looked at me like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I just talked to you yesterday. Like, what the heck?" And so she's like, "Oh, I guess I have 2 TAs this year." And I was like, "Oh man, what the heck?" Because I saw Carlos. He was sitting down on the desk that was next to her. And I was like, "Oh, cool." I didn't actually know Carlos personally. Like, I never like talked to him or anything. I actually didn't ever see him in person. I just knew like of him. So when I saw him, I was like, "Oh, hey." And we said hi to each other. It was like super chill. He was really nice. So yeah, we started talking, and I think at first it was like, at least just the first day, it was kind of like, how the heck did this lady get 2 TAs, I really didn't want to actually be somebody's assistant. I just wanted to do it because I was like, oh, well, she's chill. She's not going to really make me do a lot of things. And like, that's an easy grade, whatever, It was kind of cool in the beginning because I feel like we would just kind of talk a lot and just kind of like, we would grade papers, but it wasn't like anything crazy. And so it was kind of fun in the beginning. But I think then later on, she started to notice like, okay, these kids are getting a little bit friendly, So in the beginning, she would have us like warm up her like lunch before she was gonna go and take her lunch. And so we would we would just like leave the class like during the class, and we would go warm up her lunch in the staff room. And I think once she started noticing that we were kind of like liking each other, she started like telling us like, oh, you guys shouldn't go together anymore. Like you don't need two people to warm up like food or whatever. And we're like, damn it, like, because sometimes we would just like sit out in the hallway and like just kind of talk. But anyway, skipping over all that, yeah. So we pretty much just flirted during the whole period. So I remember this was like probably, I want to say this was like September when I got strep throat. And so I missed like, I want to say like maybe 3 weeks of school. We actually only added each other on Facebook, and we didn't actually have each other's phone numbers. But I don't know how it happened. I think it just, one day I asked him, hey, do you like text or like whatever? He's like, yeah, this is my number. He gave me his number. And I think after a couple days of me not going to school, he like messaged me and was like, hey, like what's going on? And I was like, oh, I'm sick. Well, I ended up going to the doctors, and they told me it was strep, so I had to like stay home until obviously I wasn't contagious. So yeah, but I swear it was like 3 weeks. So while him and I are still talking, we're kind of like, he like keeps telling me like, oh, I want to hang out with you and da da da, and we kind of bonded over Sonic
chicken strip sandwiches.
Yeah, the chicken strip sandwiches. So we started bonding over that, and I was like, yeah, they're super good. I think you hadn't tried them. Like he had never like tried them before. So we were like, hey, I think it came up one day, and we were like, oh, we should go one day or whatever. Anyway, so since I was sick, I was like, dude, I can't see you. Like, I'm sick. There's no way I can go to school. And he's like, oh, well, maybe I should take you on a date. And I was like, oh, maybe you should, you know? I'd never been on a date, like, ever. Every other, like, boyfriend that I ever had, it was just, like, a hangout. It wasn't actually, like, a date. Yeah, this was, like, already October, I want to say, because I was sick for, like, a couple weeks. So this was already October. We hung out. We went to Sonic. He was super nice. We bonded in that. And then on our first date, he tried to kiss me. And I was like, ooh, no. And I kind of like went like this. Not that I was like, oh my gosh, dude, I don't like you yet. No, yes, I thought he was so hot, and like I liked him, obviously. But I didn't want to start something like, oh, let's be friends with benefits. I mean, I knew him, but I didn't know him. So I didn't want to give him the wrong idea. So I was like, okay, well, good night, whatever. Thank you so much for everything. And then he texted me, and he was like, oh, what was that? And I was like, oh. So then I explained to him like that I didn't think it was like a good thing to start a relationship like that. I was like, you can kiss me once I become your girlfriend. So then he was like, okay, cool. He kind of just like, he didn't take it like serious. We kind of just kept talking for a couple more weeks, and then he finally asked me to be his girlfriend. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Oh, actually, let me go rewind to when we started talking. So funny thing is that we actually bonded because he had just, he was just like starting his like single life, you know? He had just like broken up with his previous relationship. So we kind of bonded about like not wanting to be in a relationship and like not wanting, like just chilling for a little bit. So it was funny how we actually ended up becoming like boyfriend and girlfriend. So now I'm gonna go in, actually guys, let me show you really quick what I've been using this whole time. I've been using the Friendcation palette from Desi and Katie. So I've been using pretty much this one, this shade, and then this one, which is A Moment and Necessary. I've been using those, and I just kind of buffed it all in my crease. And then the darker shade, which was Necessary, I just kind of focused it in there. So now I'm going to do my eyeliner, which is the NYX gel liner, and this is Golden Bronze. I tried this the other day and I really liked how it looked, especially with like a matte look. So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna add a little bit of like lightness to the lid area. And so I'm gonna grab my Soft Glam palette and I'm gonna grab Tempera, which is this like, it's kind of like an ivory shade. It's not too white, but it has a little bit of a pink shade or a pink tint. So I'm just gonna grab a small brush and I'm just gonna tap it in right in here. So I'm gonna tap it and then I'm gonna grab my blending brush and I'm just gonna kind of sweep it over because I don't want it to be too intense, just like that. See how I just kind of brightened it up a little bit? Because I'm trying to keep everything really matte and I'm just trying to go like, let the liner kind of be the star of the show this time. So that's what I'm doing. Honestly, the other time when I did this liner, it was so much better, guys. But this time, I don't know why it got so sloppy. I think I just got too excited and I just went crazy. Whatever, you're gonna put lashes, I'm gonna put lashes over it and you won't even be able to see it, so I don't even care anymore. Anyway, going back to the story. So yeah, he asked me out, we started dating, everything was cool, and then 6 years later, he proposed to me. And then I wanna say it was like 3 months later, we got married. At first, we did wanna have a wedding, but then we started realizing like, dang, weddings are really expensive. So we actually just decided to elope. And honestly, that was probably the best decision we've ever made, because we didn't really care about like having a wedding or anything like that, because it was just kind of like, we just wanted to be married, you know? We'd been together for so long. And even though we were still young, I think we both knew exactly what we wanted from the beginning. So it was just important for us to just get married, just for us, not for anybody else. Yeah, we'll be 3 years next month, like I said. And it's been really cool. Sometimes I do get asked like, oh, you got married so young and da-da-da. And yeah, you know, I was young, but I just feel like when you know that you found the one, you just know, you know? So I definitely feel that way. So now moving on with my eyes, I'm actually gonna use the Tati lashes. I just recently discovered these lashes and I believe they are 2 gals that are professional makeup artists. And they pretty much designed these for like makeup artists or any freelancing makeup artists. So they're actually really inexpensive. They're about $12, I want to say. But yeah, I've been loving them a lot. I don't know if we can kind of get a close-up of them, but I love that the actual hairs look like real hair. So it looks like real lashes. So I've been really loving this style, which is TL7. I'm gonna pop them on because I feel like at this point, most people know how to put on lashes. So I'm just gonna pop them on and then I'll be back. So now I'm gonna go in with my my little sponge, my little makeup sponge. I actually wanted to mention before I forget that this beauty sponge is from BritnyMurilloBeauty. It's $7, I believe. And it's actually, this is my first time using it and it's so nice. It's like super spongy, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, it's really soft. But when you get it, it's like super tiny, but then when you wet it, it gets really big. So, and I actually really like the shape of it. I like that it's flat here, so you can really, like, if you're a little baker, you can like, you know, and like you'll be good. But I'm not a little baker, but I do love concealer. So I'm gonna try it out for my concealer right now to see how I feel about it. Obviously, we all know that we've been kind of like in our little quarantine phase, and well, not phase, but our little quarantine time. Coronavirus! And I haven't actually gone into a store to get a new foundation. So all of my foundations either fit me a little bit too dark or a little bit too light, or it's like the wrong undertone for me right now. So don't judge me, okay? Because, you know, I just haven't gone into a store. So I'm just like not really worried about it, you know? I usually only, well, at least right now, I'm only wearing foundation if I'm going to take a picture. So the foundation I'm going to use is Anastasia, the Luminous Foundation. And I'm in the shade, or I was in the shade 335W. I actually really like this foundation because it doesn't look super thick. Oh my god, yeah, that's like a little bit dark. It doesn't look super thick on the skin. If you are a little bit more oily, you might think this is a little bit too dewy for you, but I'm pretty like, I'm a little bit more on the drier side. So I actually really enjoy this foundation. But do you see how like I have 2 little acne scars that I got? Well, not acne scars, but you know, little blemish scars that I got like a couple months ago. They still haven't gone away, but you can kind of still see them through my foundation. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but I can see them. And so I like that this one doesn't cover it completely, because I will go back and just kind of conceal those with my concealer. I've kind of been really into like not wearing too much foundation. I used to be really like all about like, oh, caking my foundation on. I think maybe some people might think that I still kind of cake it on, but I do feel like it's a little bit more comfortable now. I'm actually pretty impressed with the sponge. It feels so soft, and I feel like it applied my foundation really well. So I'm impressed. I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. I've been really loving this little contour thing. It's like a cream, but I love the packaging. The packaging is so dope. So it has a little on and off switch. So it's actually squeeze, and it has a little like sponge applicator, which I love. I'm gonna go in. I've actually been loving doing this first and then concealing, because I feel like the contour stands out a little bit more. I am going to use my Jaclyn Hill times Morphe brush, and this is the JH08. And I am going to just, yeah, you don't want to squeeze too much, because I have noticed that if you squeeze too much, it's kind of hard to use it all, because a little bit goes a long way. And this one I think is in the color light, no, it's fair medium, which I thought their coloring was a little bit weird, because it's fair medium and then like, I can't think of like what the other option is, but yeah, the colors are a little bit different. I was kind of like hesitant to get it because of the coloring, but it's so awesome, guys. I do like to warm it up a little bit, so I'm gonna use a Deep Chestnut. It's one of the e.l.f. Concealers, and so I just put like a very tiny bit, and I just like that it adds a little bit of warmth. So I use the brush to just kind of blend it out, and I'm gonna go over it with my sponge. And I've actually only have been squeezing it once, and then it's like good for like at least the one side of my face. And then I'll squeeze it again when I do the other side. I actually want to say that I love the way that this product blends out. I think it's probably one of my favorite contour wands or cream or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so you just kind of, you lock it back in there, and then you just put the cap on it. So it's awesome when you're traveling too. So it's not going to get all gross and yucky when it's in your traveling bag. So I really do like that. So now that I've done a little bit of the contouring, I'm going to go in and conceal my under eyes. I used obviously my Shape Tape concealer, and then I'm gonna grab the e.l.f. 16-hour camo. Is it camo? Yeah, camo concealer. This I actually am using right now the medium sand, and I like to grab just like 2 little dots, maybe 3. And I'm just gonna do a little bit right in here, because I like to really brighten this area up. Yeah, so pretty much with my story, guys, that's like pretty much it. But I just really wanted to share it with you guys. I feel like it's obviously been a little bit since I filmed my last video, and during this whole time that we've been all kind of going through this, I really did want to film and just pretty much get a little bit more personal with my channel, because I was watching a lot of my older ones, and I noticed that like they were cool, like I had a lot of fun, but I felt like I wasn't really sharing a lot about myself, and I kind of just want to start doing that a little bit more. So I'm going to start actually doing a little bit more of these. They're probably just going to be more like get ready with me than like a story time. But to set my under eyes, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I actually mix fair and medium together, and I love that. And I'm going to use my Morphe E49 brush. I first go in with the medium, and then I grab a little bit of the fair, and I like to just kind of press it right in the center here. And so now to set where I kind of contoured and carved out my cheekbones a little bit, I'm gonna use my Fenty Private Island bronzer. I really like this color. If I'm in a huge hurry, I just use that, and I kind of like contour and like warm up a little bit. Ooh, I did a big uh-oh. I just realized this. I actually usually like to highlight first and then conceal. I mean, not conceal, contour. And I did it totally backwards this time. That's kind of crappy because I really hate doing this. But I'm just gonna go in and do it because I'm not completely finished. But I like to highlight, I've mentioned this before, I like to highlight first before I contour or bronze. I just feel like the highlighter looks a little more natural. Right now I've kind of been into like a highlight, but not like crazy in your face. I really just like a little glow as I put it like all over my face. But this noise though is like crazy. Like that noise is like, no, you know. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the bronzer, and I'm just gonna warm up my face. So, you know, just a little tap, tap, tap. Okay, so since I did a little bit around my jawline, I'm gonna grab my big fluffy brush, and I already set it with the bronzer, but I'm just gonna kind of drag it down because, you know, we don't want a line there. I mean, we kind of want, you know, we want to see it, but we don't want a line. I feel like I'm all over the place in this video, and I'm so sorry because it's been a little bit, but I'm really excited that I'm filming this. Okay, so now I'm gonna carve out the contour with my Laura Mercier powder, and I like to use this little brush. You know, I actually learned this from Kylie Jenner. Rise and shine. Obviously, by the time I post this, I feel like the whole world knows that the Kardashians are like done filming, but I just found out today, so I'm just gonna kind of talk about it a little bit. I'm so sad, guys. I'm seriously so freaking sad. It's me and my sisters, like, that's all we talk about. Well, I mean, that's not all we talk about, but we talk about them like if they're actually like our friends. And we're pretty sad about it. I feel like a lot of people that don't watch it are like, who cares? But man, if you're a fan, like, that sucks. You know, I feel you. I feel you. And I just leave it on for a little bit. I don't actually like leave it on there for a long time. I just kind of like to make it a little more defined in there. I'm gonna grab Burnt Orange from the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia, and I'm just gonna kind of wiggle it underneath my lash line. I'm just gonna use this almost like a little base because I'm gonna go in with the eyeliner that I used on top. I'm gonna use that to kind of smoke out my under eyes. And I'm just grabbing this little pencil brush from Sigma, and I'm just, since it's a gel, I'm applying it and then smudging it right away because the gel does dry a little bit quicker since it's waterproof. And this color is so pretty, guys. Can I use them in really quick? It's super cute. It's like a coppery, bronzy shade. I'm gonna grab that Tempera color that I used for my lid, and I'm just gonna wiggle it in here. Kind of gives you like a little like awake, like a little awake look. Like, ooh, I slept, you know? I'm gonna go in with my Falsies mascara from Maybelline. And I'm just gonna add some just on the bottom of my lashes, my bottom lashes. I hate how I look when I'm doing this, so excuse me, okay? So now I'm gonna kind of set my eyebrows with the Anastasia Brow Gel. This one's the clear one, so it's not actually tinted, it's just the clear one. Also, since we were talking about the Kardashians, you guys should comment down below which one's your favorite Kardashian. I've always loved Khloe. I think Khloe's still my favorite. I actually have been really loving Kourtney though. I used to kind of not really like Kourtney, but I do really like her now. Okay, so now for my blush, I'm gonna do this Morphe palette. I'm gonna grab this peachy matte shade. I'm gonna use one of the Kim K blushes, but hers are a little bit more shimmery, or at least the palette that I bought is shimmery. So I like to kind of like start off with a matte and then top it off with the shimmery one. I kind of use it like a little blush topper. Now I'm gonna grab the KKW blush. So I'm actually gonna use this one, which is number 3. Ooh. I feel like before I used to always like just do blush here, but I've been really kind of into like putting blush right in here. And just with like any shimmery products, I always like to really press it into my skin. So I'm just gonna kind of dampen my little sponge a little bit, and I'm just gonna go over. Okay, so now for my lips, I'm gonna use the KKW Nude 1, and I'm just gonna line my lips. And then for my actual lipstick, I'm gonna use Stockholm. Okay, we'll do this one. So now to kind of just finish everything off, not to finish it off, but to kind of make sure everything's good and blended, I just like to grab a little bit of my powder brush with a little powder and just kind of tap everything in just to make sure that everything's good. Now to seal everything, I'm gonna use the Morphe Luminous Setting Spray. So good. I mean, it kind of smells good, honestly. It kind of smells like soap, like hand soap, but I'm not too mad at it. Okay guys, so this is pretty much what I came up with today. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little story time. I mean, I feel like this story was a little short. I feel like I pretty much got to the point. I really hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. I really liked pretty much everything I used today. I mean, it wasn't like a first impression. I've been using most of the things for quite a bit now. I will say that the lashes, for some reason, I don't know why, but this one looks a little more different than this one. So I had to put a little more mascara to make it look a little fuller. I do believe they are handmade. So I know that sometimes kind of varies with like the styles. Some of them can be a little more fuller than the others. So this was my first time wearing these. So I think that's why they needed a little breaking in. So I also wanted to mention that you guys should definitely go check out Polly Mae Designs. It's really, really cool handmade like accessory Instagram company shop that is created by my sister, Myra. She is making everything by hand, and she's super creative with each and every collection and earring that she's made. So if you guys can go like her pictures or follow, that would be amazing. Again, it's Polly Mae Designs. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.